Welcome to another episode of the Cnation Podtalk. Today, we have a special guest who embodies health and wellness, Khushboo Malik. She's a dedicated yoga teacher, a fitness enthusiast, and an avid traveler who explores the world with passion. She's not just a yoga teacher, she's a passionate advocate for fitness and holistic well-being. With a deep love for travel, she explores the world while spreading the message of health and mindfulness. Join us as we dive into her journey, fitness philosophy, and the transformative power of yoga. Hosting this podcast is our incredible and beautiful host, Sandeep Kaur.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the Cnation Podtalk. Today we have a very special guest who's inspiring thousands with her passion for fitness and wellness. She's not just a yoga teacher but a true fitness enthusiast dedicated to helping people find balance in their lives, both physically and mentally. With her growing presence on social media, she's quickly becoming a sensation, motivating others to embrace a healthier lifestyle. Please welcome ever energetic and gorgeous Khushboo Malik. Welcome to the show, Khushboo. We are really excited to have you on the show, and I'm really excited to know about your journey because I really love yoga. My family introduced me yoga 2 years back, and now I always prefer yoga over gym. So let's start with the beginning, how it gets started, how you got into this journey.
So thanks for the question. I was very spontaneously one day introduced to yoga back when I lived in India in Pune, and I had some problems, some physical limitations following an accident. So I had some injuries which didn't let me do a lot of sports to begin with. And when I saw somebody doing yoga, my first glimpse was somebody doing a very interesting headstand. And back in the day when I saw someone do that, it was absolutely fascinating to me how somebody could manage their bodies and control their body strength and muscles in such a way. So I was completely awed by it, and I entered the class as a pure trial that can I join you and can I see what's going on here. And that's pretty much how it started. It was a pure curiosity experiment because I wanted to become stronger. I wanted to become more in control of my physique. And I started with the curiosity of a physical practice. And what it turned into was a very, very comprehensive and holistic lifestyle, as you can see it now.
So, for the beginners, what do you feel like should be a basic, everybody's journey is different, right? Supposing somebody starting yoga from starting, should they go for headstand and all the difficult asanas? Because people are fascinated by how we should do the difficult asanas. Even I am taking myself for example. I did headstand and I got injured. Just because I wanted to do headstand. I felt like my yoga journey won't be complete till the time I do headstand, and I just had L4 L5 injury during that time. So what would be your suggestion for the beginners? What should
It's a very good question. In today's world, yoga and its asanas are taken quite a lot for their social media value, their aesthetic value. It looks beautiful, and don't get me wrong, it does look beautiful. It does look cool. And let it be a little bit of an enthusiastic push to, hey, I want to achieve that. Let it be an enthusiastic drive that I want to be able to do that as an aspiration, sure. But this is not what fitness is about. This is not what yoga is about. And I think any serious practitioner would tell you that 99% of the time, those cool things are not what they're doing. The 99.9% foundation of yoga is in the basics, is in the discipline, is in the practice of showing up. There are days where you're just coming and doing the bare minimum, the fails, the strengthening, the unmotivated days, but also the days of putting in the work, of connecting with your body, of understanding your body, overcoming injuries. So yoga is not about doing a cool headstand and looking beautiful on social media. It can be a happy side result.
Okay.
Let's just say that. I would not say the beginners should start with those activities that can act as an aspiration. how it begins is by starting to cultivate a curiosity about your own body, a curiosity about how well do you know you move, how well do you know your weaknesses, your strengths, where you hold stress and where you need to improve and grow. And it's about persistence, it's about consistency, it's about showing up and having a drive within yourself that can I be disciplined? Can I make it better? Can I become stronger? So it's a very, very holistic practice. I don't think most of us who are practicing and posting it on social media can say that we truly know what yoga is, because yoga is a combination of 8 limbs, and asana practice is just one of them, and headstand probably 1% of that. So, to put things into perspective, that's not what the practice is about.
Okay. So, what do you believe? What are the most common mistakes that people do when they start their journey? Like I told you that I wanted to do headstand and I end up having an injury. So, what does everybody goes through the same journey? Most people like our mental health, like our mentality is generally similar, right? Everybody process things
Yeah.
very similar. So, what do you think they should avoid in the starting of their journey when they are like approaching you?
So I think avoid comparisons. I
Okay.
know that social media really drives you to do that, and it's about how good something looks, but comparison is not the key. Yoga is a practice of evolving your own body. And every asana, whether you do it perfectly or not perfectly, it can result looking different for everybody's body. And everybody's body not only looks but responds to it in a slightly different way. So what you need to compare it against is, am I better than I was yesterday? Did I progress from where I was at yesterday, rather than saying that, I look a certain way in a handstand or a headstand versus that person, their body is coming out with a straight back, and my body looks a bit crooked. Doesn't work that way. But your comparison, especially as a beginner, is to progress your own self, and do not hold yourself to the standards of what media influencers and models and yoga experts are putting out there, because that is their journey, it's their body. And we all hold our weaknesses or tensions in a very different manner, but we all also have our own strengths. So you have to take it as a very, very individualistic journey of understanding yourself. And what I really can recommend is to have a good teacher who will guide you on this journey, who will know how to take it forward with you, so you don't push your limits in an irresponsible way, but explore your body in a very in a more technical, in a more guided, and in a more positive manner, rather than I need to achieve this and I need to do a headstand whether it leads to an injury.
Exactly.
So safe practice, I think, is the essence of it, and a guided practice to
I
begin with.
100% agree with you on that because I feel like if you get it, or like if you start with the not the right teacher, it can lead you to like thinking in a different manner. You know, when I started, so I started in Chandigarh. Like I was doing gym, then somebody recommended me that you should do yoga practice. So that
Yep.
teacher used to tell us that you won 108 Surya Namaskara in 1 hour, and we used to
Hmm.
do it, and uh, I now when I look back, I think that was completely wrong as per my body, because everybody's body is different, and I think yoga should be structured in such a way, like it should be different for everybody. The base should be same, but then the advanced version should be dependent on how somebody's body is responding to certain exercises or certain asanas.
Yeah, yeah. There's a fine line between pushing yourself versus crossing your own bodily thresholds. It's good to challenge yourself. It's good to push yourself to an extent where you feel like there is fatigue. Maybe I can do a little bit more. But when you feel that something feels unsafe in your body, to push yourself because others can chase it, others can achieve it, or my favorite yoga influencer can hold herself on this one hand, it's not a reason to pursue it. And I think to a certain extent, we've all been guilty of it. We've all been guilty of being influenced. And that's why we're here in this interview, right?
Definitely, definitely. I'm sure. When I did those mistakes, I used to think that I wish I could tell whosoever is starting their journey that they don't tend to make these mistakes so that they can have a better life, because I was on bed rest for 2 months after that injury.
Hmm.
And I used to think like whether I'll be able to get back to the normal life, whether I'll be able to sit straight, because it got really bad at that time. So like these small mistakes can lead to major injury sometimes. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
basically, Khushboo, like there are a lot of women out there who can't join yoga classes, or like
Hmm.
can't go to technically to a class. So what do you recommend for them? How they can start their yoga journey?
I mean, fortunately, we are in a time where there's thousands of online lessons, and while they may not replace some guidance that you can get in a physical class, this is always a good option. A start is a start. And as long as you do it safely and consistently, even doing a few rounds of Surya Namaskar, basic stretching in the morning, is a very good place to begin. There's no such thing as I did very good yoga and you don't do very good yoga. A start is a start. The practice of being conscious in your lifestyle, the practice of taking your breath with movements is already the yoga asana practice. And so that is already a good start. It is entirely possible to begin with YouTube guidance, to begin with online teaching guidance. It's already okay to begin with 15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe slowly taking it into 30 minutes or 1 hour. So I think, as per what feels comfortable in your body, you need to be the judge of it yourself. You need to be conscious of your choices. You need to holistically approach the concept. And yeah, I think there's no right or wrong. It needs to feel good in your body, and it also has to be a bit fun for you, and that's an important part.
Right. So, which leads to me to the next question. Like many yoga teachers doesn't like pay attention on the breathing. Like when you should breathe in, when you should breathe out, and
Mhm.
that I got to know recently when I had a proper yoga teacher. Like he's a certified.
Yeah,
So he told me you don't need to rush, just calm down. Even if you do few stretches, pay attention on the breath. So I just want
absolutely.
you to share your insights on that, so whosoever is listening to this can like have that thing in their day-to-day yoga sessions.
Yeah, yeah. So what your teacher said is absolutely right. Uh, Yoga without the breath is just doing some exercise.
Okay.
So there is no yoga without aligning it to your breath. So
Okay.
this is all I can say about that. Yoga is a practice which uses bodily movements guided by the breath to achieve a certain result. And it is tremendously important. I cannot stress enough to send consciously breaths to your body while practicing these asanas, and that's what really gets you to the essence of the practice. I'm not going to say I'm some sort of a huge expert in elucidating that,
Are an
but
expert. It's not like that. You've done enough. I have
yes.
seen your Instagram post. Definitely, you seem to be an expert for sure. And do you provide yoga classes also, Khushbu?
Yes, yes, I've taught extensively for quite a while. And also now I try to balance between my own rigorous practice and being able to provide both physical practice as well as some teaching guidance to people around. So I sometimes do that online, I sometimes do it in person or with studios. So, yes, it's a continuously evolving process. And I think there's also much to be learned at how to be a teacher and how to become a teacher. So, yes, it's a continuous evolving thing.
Right. And do you do any kind of strength training alongside the yoga?
Yes, yes, absolutely. I am a big fan of body weight strength training. I practice calisthenics, some amount of ground acrobatics, some handstands, and sometimes also some resistance strength training.
And supposingly when we start a journey, a specific
Mm-hmm.
fitness journey, there are moments when we feel overwhelmed, right? Even I myself have felt that. So what do you think can keep a person going? What would be your advice on that whenever you feel overwhelmed, whenever you don't feel like I don't want to go to work out today, I just want to laze around. So what thought can like we inculcate in our day-to-day life that can like push us a little bit towards the workout?
I think it's the thought of going through a rigorous workout that some days can feel like a lot for you, right? And the essence here is to listen to your body. Sometimes it really can be a lot for you. So as I said before, it's not so much about the volume, but it's about the quality. Even if you show up on your mat for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, if it's just to take a couple of breaths and do a couple of stretches, it's the feeling that today I showed up for myself. Today I did what I had to do. I took care of my body. I didn't push it, or on some days I pushed it a lot. But I listened to my body and I showed up for it. And I do this entirely for myself. And I think that's the beauty of yoga. It's not something that you do to achieve certain results at work or to please the society or to fill up your bank balance. It is the one practice that is wholly and solely for yourself. And therefore, when you do it, you show up for yourself. You give this as a present to yourself for your own benefit, for your own health, for your own happiness. And come on, let's face it does give you the endorphins in the end. So I think that's what I tell myself.
You said it very beautifully, you know. You said it very beautifully. Yeah, it does make sense. Like I think after listening to your advice, I will definitely show up on my mat for at least 5 minutes, because sometimes I feel like the yoga teacher I had, he have given me like it in 4 sections. So I used to feel
Mhm.
like till the time I can't complete the all 4 sections, I shouldn't like do it. Like so I used to avoid it many times, but now because my husband has a similar thought process like the way you explained, he used to tell me just go and have few breaths, just few stretching. So that does make sense after listening to you, whatever.
Yeah. What it does, it helps you build a connection with your own body. There will be days where you will want to be pushed. You will want to see and test your limits of how much can I hold, how strong can I get, how capable and control of am I of my own muscles, of my own limbs, of my own body. So it helps you push your limits a little bit, but it also helps you understand and connect different parts of your mind, body, internal, external wellness. And as you go forward in this process, you will start to understand which days are good for me, which days do I need to take it easy and be kind to yourself, be kind to your body. But there are also days that, today I'm going to challenge myself. And it's to build this connection inside yourself with yourself. And that's where I think it's a very different process than it is with some other forms of fitness, probably.
Khushboo, many people view yoga as just as a physical form of exercise, but it
Mhm.
have like I was like yoga and meditation are very closely connected, and I was watching one of the podcast of Dr. Joe Dispenza. Like he was
Mhm.
telling that even meditation and yoga can change the brain waves. You know, so can you
Mhm.
share few of your insights on the same? Like how does it change the mind along with the physical form of the body?
Well, again, I think this can get into a very technical and scientific question about the changing of the brain waves, and I do not claim to be a medical expert in that.
Okay.
What I do understand is that it does have a lot of proven benefits in calming the mind, in calming the nervous system, because, as I said, it's always a combination of the asana and the breath. And yoga is not just a physical practice. The physical practice is one of the 8 limbs prescribed in the yoga philosophy, right? And the others being your meditation, your breathing, your sensory withdrawal, posture, positive duties, and there's a whole list of 8 things that you can check, in fact. But what the breath does, it is scientifically proven in deepening your stretches, deepening your postures, deepening your strength, the connection that you have from your mind to your muscle, but it also calms the sensory experience of the whole practice. It calms the nervous system down. So I would really recommend you to read the very scientific and medical explanation on this rather than me putting that out there.
Perfect. So any books you would recommend on yoga to the viewers whosoever, and any favorite yoga teacher you had in your lifespan?
I think this is a very, very personal question. When we talk about yoga, I think we need to be very careful in prescribing documents and texts and teachers, because this is one place where I see that a lot of cultural appropriation can be generated, that that this book by this person says such and such and such. There are many different ways that this practice has progressed through the years. There was an ancient text. Now people practice it in various different days around the world. I will not say one is wrong and one is right. I will say that it needs to be approached, when you call it yoga, it needs to be approached as the holistic ancient practice that it is, comprising of the 8 limbs. If not, you can call it the yoga asana practice. And there you can prescribe to whatever style you like. Some people start off and like hatha, others may prefer an ashtanga or a vinyasa practice. It is a very personal choice. And I don't think that most of us out there can claim to be experts of the ancient philosophy unless you go to Mysore and to go one of the traditional schools where they practice, even there, a certain type of practice in a certain way. So yeah, I think it's a very complex question, and
I got
none
it.
of us can be.
I
Yeah.
can totally understand. I think that was a
Yeah.
wrong answer, might be. Okay. So okay. So what other question? What other suggestion would you give to the viewers, like to the women out there, how they can like go about it, if somebody wants to approach you for the classes, what is the best way to reach out to you?
I can always be reached out on Instagram. I think I purely maintain that for helping people out. I'm always open to questions regarding the practice, or I think for women, it can be a very important thing to address strength related questions, because I am very much focused on not just building like a fit looking lean body. No, this is not the objective. It's, I would say, a side benefit. What should be the aim is to maintain a healthy and a strong body which you understand fully. I'm very happy to explain anybody about how to approach basics of strength development, of understanding your body. I myself have progressed to this stage after having significant injuries that prohibited me from even doing basic levels of fitness. And what I would like to tell people is that nothing can really hold you back when you are motivated enough to build yourself a certain way, where you want to become strong a certain way. I started, I think, from -10, and you can see that you can really get anywhere when you have the right will to do it.
That's quite a motivational sentence you said. Like, never, nobody can hold you back. Like a day back only, I was thinking that I don't know why I'm not able to do it. Like, there are sometimes it's like a self-talk that is like not letting you to go where you want to go. Like, you feel like, okay, I don't have time. There's so many excuses mind gives you. Like, okay, your schedule is packed. You can't do it. There's no much time. But the way you said it is very beautiful, Khushboo. Thank you so much. I think more than viewer, I myself is getting so motivated after this talk. So, what is the most
Yeah.
fulfilling part of being a yoga teacher, Khushboo?
Apart from the fact that it makes you also understand your own body really well as you are guiding your students, I think that's an obvious one. I think it just brings me a lot of joy to help somebody based on any input that I can give to make them progress in understanding their own body, to maybe even taking them just a tiny inch closer to realizing their own fitness goals. It makes me quite happy to be able to do that.
I feel like I should be a yoga teacher. Like seeing you happy, like the end goal is just being happy, right? And being in that.
Yeah, it's I think a very big part of it is to be at ease in your own skin, to be comfortable with your own body, and to love your body and to know it.
Khushboo, just one last question, then we can wrap up the session. Everybody says like most of the time I've heard from so many people, listen to your body, listen to your body. It's giving signals all the time.
Yes.
Sometimes I try to interpret that and I try to like what my body is telling me, but there are times when I fail to understand, like, okay, how should I take it, you know? So what can be your take on that, like how we can like understand our body in day-to-day life? And you know, it's also again a very personal question, and it depends from person to person, but what generally we can like, how we can understand the body signals? Like sometimes you said that there's fatigue in the body, but you said
Yes.
you should push, you feel like you should push yourself, but then you can end up having an injury, you know? So that basic line, how someone can like interpret that?
I think this comes with experience. I think it's not a very easy thing to start understanding the needs of your body. And to begin with, I think yoga is actually the perfect practice that teaches you that, because you tune in. You sit with yourself for a second and you check in with yourself, head to toe. How am I feeling today? Where you take a couple of moments of silence, of just not judging, not dictating, but simply observing and listening. Where is the stress today? Where are the tensions being held? Is there a sticky spot at some point in your body? And where am I holding any kind of pressure? How do my hips feel? How are my shoulders feeling? So you take a couple of moments to just silently sit and check in with yourself. And this is how you start to realize it, send breaths to those parts of the bodies. And we all make mistakes on this. None of us is perfect at that. It's a continuously evolving process. And I dare say I'm still getting there.
I feel you're already there, the way you talk and the way your experiences, especially because I think you can only talk what you have experienced, and you have delivered all the answers very beautifully. I think whosoever is listening definitely get inspired. I definitely got inspired that I am going to do yoga at least for 5 minutes every day, no matter what. So thank you so much for your time, Khushboo. It was wonderful chatting.
You're very welcome.
And yoga is one of my favorite subjects, so yeah, this was very beautiful. So any message for your fans or whosoever is listening to this podcast right now?
I'd say don't take this as a practice of judging yourself and pitting yourself against the world. Do it for yourself. It's a purely self-oriented practice to look within and not to look outside.
Perfect. And can you share your Instagram handle, so if anybody wants to reach you out, they can like reach you out on the Instagram?
Yeah, it's Khushboo.Malik on Instagram, and they can feel free to reach out in case of any questions about yoga, women's strength, and anything related to that.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Khushboo. I would love to have a chat again soon with you. I think I have a lot more questions, but let's connect soon whenever you are available. Thank you.
Sure. Happy to help. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Khushboo. Bye bye.